You might notice the way I've got my pants tucked into my socks. I'm wearing a white t-shirt. So we're in Northeast Michigan, and right now it's tick season. Although the ticks this year, very minimal. I think it's God's curse to man having those ticks. But if you dress right, put the bug spray on, tuck the pants in, tuck your shirt in, wear white shirts, you can usually find them. We're not seeing too many this year, but we've had years where a mosquito and a black fly looks like a blessing. So I don't like to mess around with them. I tend to be a tick magnet. But that's why I'm, this isn't a beauty show out here. So that's why I dress like this in the woods. Rubber boots obviously work well too. They just sweaty when it's summertime. So I think we got her swept off good enough. It'll dry up, and we're gonna start framing walls now, and we'll try to keep you posted on that. Okay, so just an update on the off-grid cabin. We've got you can see behind me, we've got the floor joists in for the loft, and the interior walls are all put up now. And the next step I'm going to do is we're going to put in some X bracing on the walls to sturdy it up. It's a little shaky if you crawl up there right now. We've got a couple 2x4s you can see there that are just temporary on the exterior. We're going to actually route out some of the walls on the interior and put a 1x4 or 1x6 on the interior walls. We're going to put a bunch of them on here to secure it. So that's the next step. And you can see we put this keystone looking decorative piece in the center of each of the rafters or floor joists. And that's because we had to splice them together. So that's where we're at. Working on some X bracing. We had to tug the wall a little bit to get it square with that strap. So we just put that one on. We cut the notches. And now we're chiseling them out. Couple more X braces, and then we're going to go to the roof. So the plastic on the floor is a good idea, but working on it, you tend to get a lot of holes in it, and even pin-sized holes will weep water through it. So I still think it's a good idea. Can't probably see it here, but there is some moisture under the plastic in this area. So we're going to put a 2x4 under the plastic at the doorway to try to get some air under there before we leave. But again, it's a good theory to cover it with plastic, but it's hard to keep it from tearing and whatnot when you're working on it. We put a rug down just to alleviate, some of the wear and tear on the plastic in the major walkway there. So that's where we're at. Okay, so we're getting ready to put the ridge board up. I made this temporary cradle. You have to do your math, figure out the height, the bottom of your ridge board. And once we get it up here, we'll get it up here, and we'll lift it up, over, and it'll drop right in there. This is a piece that I cut off, exact same thickness as the ridge board. So, in case you ever wondered how people do it, this is one way they could do it. We just Screwed this board up first, and then that one. Then we figured out our height and made that board spin around here, the other side. We built a temporary platform at the bottom, and we did the same thing over there. So bridge board goes up next, and then we will test fit these pre-cut rafters. I went with an 8/12 pitch. 8/12. I had it 10/12, but quite honestly, I don't know. On paper it seemed manageable, but it was just too high up there. So this is more manageable. Plus I'll have a little extra to play with at the end, because I have to figure the porch out yet. I haven't quite figured that out. But this end, I already planned a 12-inch overhang and cut the ends and everything. So it's all 8/12. So look up how to use a framing square, and you should mathematically be able to cut all your angles before putting it up there. Yeah, I got about half of them up. Got the end one over there. I noticed my rafters are a little out of plumb from the rest of the building, so I'm going to tie a strap to them somewhere over here, and I'm going to pull it plumb, and I'm going to put some X braces on to hold it square and plumb. Gotta get those angles just right. When you got your template, my template was a little short. I finally figured out I need to add an 1/8 inch to each side. So I kept doing it. I kept coming up short on one side, but about a 1/4 inch. So I wasted a couple 2x8s because they were too short. A couple of them I modified down at the bird's mouth. I think my bird's mouth is more like a pelican's beak. I went a little heavy on it because I'm using 2x8s, but having that large bird's mouth tends to pose other problems if it's not cut exactly right. And yeah, so we're getting it. It's turning out pretty good. I got 4 on this side, and I got the end one, so slow but steady. Well, we're wrapping up another weekend. It's Sunday evening. I have to go back home. Happy with the progress on the cabin. Didn't quite get as far as I'd wanted to, but I think that's the way it goes when you're building stuff. So things just take longer than what you expect. So it's back to the stone shop for me tomorrow morning, hitting it hot and heavy. But you know, those jobs that we have, and in my case, I do own a business, but those who are working, going to work, put some pride in it. Do your best. That money you earn is what enables you to do the things that we like to do. For me, it's coming up to my property and building this cabin. I love being out in the woods, and you know, I work for a lot of reasons, and that's one of them. That's just where I get my enjoyment. So sometimes I think, yeah, it'd be great to live out here, but it's just not a reality for me. It's not the life I have. Could it be? Well, maybe, but it's not. It's not for most of us. So enjoy it. Enjoy it when you can. Put in your time, earning the money, and use it wisely, and enjoy the weekends. So we'll catch you back here in a couple weeks. Next weekend I can't be out here. I've got some family obligations next weekend, so we'll be up here about 2 weeks. Let's see if I can get some more help. I did a lot of this myself this weekend, so ta-ta.